Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. MTG Box Analysis here with another March of the Machine Epilogue Booster teeny tiny little fun box with extra plastic. Let's give this thing a go and see what 120 cards we find. If I can get it open. There we go. So obviously the box prices not doing so good. But the singles in this set are actually doing, I would say, fairly well considering the prices on the boxes. So let's just see how many cards, how many obs we can pick up in this box, or how many Nisses, which is really, I think, kind of the underappreciated card from the very beginning. All right, so we are going to see. There we go. We're going to see ourselves a Reckless Handling, followed by a Gold Forged Thopterix. Then we're going to see Tazari Stalwart Survivor with an Animus Might. And then we've got a Tolarian Contempt in foil. All right, so we got a double foil pack there. That was pretty cool. Not that the foiling in this particular product is really going to add any significant bonus value, unless, of course, you were to pick up a Halo foil, but that's only available in the collector boxes. All right, so we got the Coppercoat Vanguard, followed by the Tolarian Contempt. There we're going to see Pia Nalar, followed by an Undercity Upheaval with a Gold Forged Thopterix and Showcase and a Treasure Token. So it's just amazing that there's only 5 cards per pack. This is such a weird little product. All right, we got the Upheaval, the Campus Renovation. We're going to see Ayara's Oathsworn, followed by a Tolarian Contempt, and an Animus Might coming in Retro with a Ragavan. And I totally messed up my piles. We'll just go with it. I always sort at the end when we do the MTG box analysis. I don't always consolidate or collate these into my collection right away. I do wait sometimes for the month end. So we get a Coppercoat Vanguard with a Tolarian Contempt. And we're going to see Nashi Moon's Legacy with an IR Oathsworn. And we're going to see a Blot Out with a Night Token in the back. So it is possible to get 3 rares in these packs. It's in less than 2%, but it is certainly possible. We got a Markov Baron with a Culligan Warmonger, Nahiri Forged in Fury, first mythic of the box. Then we get a Gold Forged Thopterix with a Campus Renovation and a Warrior in the back. All right, so we got the Cosmic Rebirth, the Animus Might, and we get the Kennereth's Royal Funeral, followed by a Death Rattle Ani and a Reckless Handling with an Incubator Phyrexian in the back. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, really what you're looking for is Nissa, Resurgent Animus in Retro Frame. Then I would say probably Karn in Retro Frame, and then either one from the main set would be just fine. We have not seen any of those yet. So we got a Feast of Victorious Dead, Death Rattle Ani with a Danitha New Benalia's Light, a Reckless Handling, and then we're going to see a Nahiri's Resolve in Showcase with a Thopter in the back. Trying to fly away on me. So a couple of weeks back, I did a collaboration with Pure MTG where we opened up a box of Fab, Flesh and Blood. Kind of curious to see how everyone thought that video went, and if you want to see either more collaborations or me potentially opening up some Fab products. So we got a Harness Snubbern with a Filter Out. Oh, Mistar Rare, which is going to be actually a Mythic Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep. All right, and then we're going to see a Cosmic Rebirth with a second foil, Gold Forged Thopterix, and an Incubator Phyrexian in the back. Let's just go ahead and fix our pile super quick. Sometimes the OCD takes over and you just gotta clean things up. All right, we got another Reckless Handling, Gold Forged Thopterix. We're gonna see Plarg and Nasari with a Blot Out, and then we're gonna see a Tolarian Contempt with an Elemental. Not much value in that pack at all. So we'll just pretend it didn't happen and start again with another Blot Out. Then an Undercity Upheaval. We're going to see the Metropolis Reformer with a Coppercoat Vanguard, and then a Harnessed Snubbern in Showcase with an Incubator Phyrexian. first box of this that I opened up was pretty darn good, seeing both Nissa and Karn. Since then, not so good on the Epilogue boosters. We've got the Campus Renovation, Markov Baron. We're going to see the Tranquil Frillback with a Metropolis Reformer in foil, and then a Death Rattle Ani with a Kraken. So still haven't gotten that elusive triple rare pack. I know when we do, it will have 3 low value rares. There we go. Culligan Warmonger with the Cosmic Rebirth, Rocco Street Chef, a Filter Out. Then we're going to see the Undercity Upheaval with a food token in the back. I think I have to stop choosing playmats that have people's faces on them. The camera just naturally wants to focus in on them. All right, so we got the Gold Forged Thopterix with another Blot Out, with a Spark Rupture. Then we're going to see a Tolarian Contempt, and another Gold Forged Thopterix with a dinosaur in the back. Lots of Gold Forged Thopterixes in this box. The duplication is always interesting to look at. From what I've found so far, it's really not so bad, at least when you consider the exact same frame, the exact same foiling, all of that, right? The duplication isn't as heavy. Yes, there's only 50 cards, so you might get 3 different versions of the Undercity Upheaval. But as far as true duplication, pretty low. So we got a Markov Baron with an Urborg Scavengers. Then we're going to see a Gold Forged Thopterix with a Death Rattle Ani and an Incubator. Because I think the average draft booster box is somewhere around 45 to 55% duplication, and on these I'm seeing somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 45, so it's actually a little less. So we got a Campus Renovation, Coppercoat Vanguard, with a Narset Enlightened Exile as another Mythic. Then we're going to see a Reckless Handling in foil, with a Karn Legacy Reforged Mythic, Mythic Retro Frame foil. Now there you go, there's some value, fantastic. Followed by an Elemental token. So we'll just go ahead and put Karn right up there. So we got our 4 Mythics, and that's probably going to be our box hit right there. Unless, of course, we see Nissa in Retro Frame. And dare I say, if we see Nissa in Retro Frame foil, that would be even better. So we got ourselves a Harness Snubbern with a Filter Out, followed by Plarg and Nasari. And then we're going to see a Campus Renovation with a Death Rattle Ani in foil with an Incubator. That is, I was not expecting that inside of a Epilogue booster. I know it was possible, but I think that's extremely rare to get a foil Retro Frame card in one of these. So we got another Blot Out, Reckless Handling with the Metropolis Reformer. Then we're going to see Markov Baron in foil with an Animus Might non-foil Retro Frame and a Monk in the back. All right, the Thopterix again with the Undercity Upheaval. And then we're going to see Calyx. Ta-da! Guided by Fate as another Mythic with a second Mythic, Samut Visor of Nakatam. And then we are going to see a Blot Out with a food token. All right, so now we're up to 6 Mythics in this little tiny box here, and a couple of decent ones so far. All right, we got the Campus Renovation with the Markov Baron, the Tranquil Frillback with the Culligan Warmonger, and then we're going to see the Tranquil Frillback in Showcase with the Treasure Token. All right, Coppercoat Vanguard, Tolarian Contempt. We're going to see Plarg Nalal, Council of Revival. It's a duplicate with a Feast of Victorious Dead, and a Campus Renovation and Showcase with a Soldier. I think we're down to about 4 packs here, and then we'll jump into the MTG Box Analysis, and I'll go over all the stats and figures for this particular box, and probably compare it to the previous box as well, as best I can. So we've got the Culligan Warmonger, the Cosmic Rebirth with Rocco Street Chef. Then we're going to see the Harness Stubborn and Reckless Handling in the back with an Incubator. All right, 15 cards. Animus Might, Death Rattle Ani, Finally, our first training grounds of the box. Fantastic. Then we get an Animus Might in foil with a Tolarian Contempt and a Night token. I was kind of surprised the first box I opened of this had 3 different training grounds. So this box only had 1 so far. So we got a Feast of Victorious Dead, Harness Snubburn. Wow, double Karn box. All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. So let me move this last pack over here. We'll put Karn dead center. Then we get a Death Rattle Ani with a Harness Snubburn and an Incubator. So I don't mind double Karn. Can we get a Nissa in here? Let's see. All right, we got the filter out. We got the Reckless Handling. And we're going to see the Draneth Ruins, the land. That's okay. Followed by a Nashi Moon's Legacy. Nope. All right, and then we got a Harness Snubbered in the back and foil with a Thopter. All right, so just give me 1 moment, and I'll get everything sorted, organized, and be right back with the MTG Box Analysis. We'll begin today's MTG Box Analysis by comparing the cards that we saw in this box to the cards that we were eligible to obtain inside of an Epilogue Booster Pack. Then we'll examine the non-foil and foil coverage of the set, along with coverage by Rarity and Duplication. Then we'll review the current set value and break down the actual observed value for the box. Finally, we'll conclude with a summary of the box as well as a comparison of the Epilogue Booster Boxes opened thus far on the channel. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box and more than 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Let's get things started by reviewing the contents of the box in comparison to the cards that we were eligible to see. Using this chart, we can see the foils we observed in orange, the non-foils in green, and the cards from the set that we were eligible to obtain in gray as the baseline. In the non-foil space, we saw between 7 and 11 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, plus 24 multicolor cards. We also saw 17 showcase and 2 retro frames in non-foil. In the foil space, we saw between 3 and 5 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, plus 4 foil showcase and 1 foil retro frame. Moving into coverage, in the non-foil space, we saw 45 unique cards out of a possible 100, giving us 45% coverage of the set. We saw 100% of the non-foil standard frame cards for black inside of this box. In the foil space, we saw 24 of the 100 cards, giving us 24% coverage. This time around, we didn't see 100% of anything, but we did see 80% of the black cards in standard frame. Pivoting to coverage by Rarity, the Aftermath set does not contain any commons, just uncommons, rares, and mythics. In today's box, we saw 80% of the uncommons in non-foil, along with 16 unique rares for 32% coverage and 5 mythics for 25% coverage. In the foil space, we saw 63% of the uncommons, 3 foil rares for 6% coverage, and 2 foil mythics for 10% coverage. In total, we saw 24 rares and 7 mythics inside these 24 packs. Now let's take a look at the true duplication inside of today's box. Despite the set only having 50 named cards and us opening 120 cards, only 33 of the cards were duplicated 51 times for a box duplication rate of 43%. This is on par or less than most draft booster boxes. This chart shows all 100 cards from the Aftermath set that we can pull from an Epilogue booster using non-foil market prices as of June 5th, 2023. Currently, the set features 10 cards valued over $10. The top 5 are going to be Tyvar the Bellicose in Showcase, valued at $13.70. Op Nicholas, Captive Kingpin, also in Showcase at $18.64. The Retro Frame Karn Legacy Reforged at $27.85. And Nissa Resurgent Animus, valued at $34.76 in Standard Frame and $51.60 in Retro Frame. The set also features 8 cards valued between $5 and $10 and 22 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 60 cards are currently valued under $1. If you were to add up the non-foil market prices of all 50 standard frame and 50 showcase frame cards in non-foil, you'd be looking at a grand total market value of $328.93. Now let's take a look at the actual value that we saw in today's box, starting off in the non-foil space. I'd say we did okay seeing 1 of the 10 cards valued over $10. This, of course, was the Karn Legacy Reforged, valued at $11.76. We also saw 3 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 5 cards valued between $1 and $5. The other 82 non-foils in the box are currently valued less than $1. In the foil space, we also saw 1 card valued over $10, and again, it was the Karn Living Legacy, but this time it was the Retro Frame in foil, valued at $29.08. We also saw 2 cards valued between $1 and $5, but the other 26 foils in the box are currently valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box from trollandtoad.com. Their price for the box was $64.95. However, using a promo code, I was able to save a little, making my price $61.70. You can use my code MTG Box 5 at checkout to save 5% off any item directly sold by Troll and Toad and support the channel at the same time. Today's Epilogue Booster Box contained 24 packs with 5 cards each, allowing us to see 120 cards plus up to 24 tokens. The 23 tokens that we saw currently have a market value of $3.01. The 89 uncommons that we saw are currently valued at $11.60. The 24 rares have a current market value of $17.66, and the 7 mythics that we saw are valued at $63.39. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $95.66 in current market value, which makes this box a gain of $33.96 and a return of 155% of my purchase price in card value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 8 cards valued over $2 in this box, and they have a current combined value of $68.70, which means that those 8 cards represent 72% of the total box value and more than paid for the box. Now let's compare the 2 Epilogue booster boxes opened thus far on the channel to see what they're producing. The following table shows the duplication and coverage for today's box on the left and the Epilogue booster box opened on May 17th on the right. As you can see, the duplication rate differed by 6%. However, this led to an 8% swing in non-foil coverage. Both boxes were, however, pretty consistent in their foil coverage of the set. As far as the number of cards by rarity, we saw between 86 and 89 uncommons per box, 24 to 28 rares, and 6 to 7 mythics inside of the 24 packs. From a value perspective, I've adjusted the values of the May 17th box to today's box prices so that way we can do a true apples-to-apples comparison. As you can see from the numbers, we've seen a pretty similar breakdown in the number of cards by dollar range, with both boxes producing 2 cards valued over $10. What has differed is the quality of those cards. In today's box, we saw 2 Karn Legacy Reforged, whereas on May 17th, we saw a non-foil Nissa Resurgent Animist, as well as a Retro Frame Karn. This led to the previous box producing about 46% more value than today's box, with a grand total of $134.72 in current market value. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.